Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to MLB DFS Slate Breakdown for Wednesday, September 24th. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann, and we are going to be diving into this MLB slate we have today. But before we get into it, come join us at LineStar, $39.99 per month. And we have a free trial option. If you've never tried us out before, please come try us out. Give us a nice little review on the app. It is by far the best app there is in daily fantasy sports. You can get it on Android or on iOS. Now, let's dig into it. We're going to start off by the perfect lineups on both sites. Then we will get into the winning lineups. After that, we'll go to pitchers to consider for today, the high-owned guys, some pivots to think about, and then we will get into the same with stacks. Starting on FanDuel, perfect lineup, we got Zebby Matthews. He went for 46. He had himself a day. The hungover Padres got it done as well with a two-man Padres stack, two-man Cardinals, and then we have some one-offs after that. 32.1K salary and a 309.7 score for that perfect lineup. The winning lineup went to JT Wetzel, who won 20K. 206.8 was that winning score. So 100 off the perfect lineup. They had Cole Reagans, who I went against, and the man had 10 Ks and 70-something pitches and still went 5 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, but pay-up options really just didn't do too well yesterday outside of Reagans. He got it done. Then we had a two-man Brave stack and all one-offs. Congrats to Wetzel. You got it done. Now let's get over to DraftKings, Reagans, Matthews, three-man Cardinal stack, then all one-offs. 49.9 was the salary for 246.2 perfect lineup score. And the winning lineup went to Hicks with 180. They had Miller, they had Reagans, then they had a nice little 5-man St. Louis stack and 3 one-offs with Harris, Bobby Witt Jr., and good old Nicky Knox Kurtz. So let's get into the slate now. Getting over on to both sites. And we will start with DraftKings, as we always do. Poe DeGen, thank you for showing up, as I appreciate it always. And let's get into our high-owned pitchers. So, highest owned, we got Sonny Gray. This changed mightily over the last hour or so. Sonny Gray was showing a lower-owned option earlier. But I think he is an interesting one at 8.5K. He is going a little under-owned, or he was going under-owned. He's a little under priced, I would say. 17-point projection, 18-point consensus, and Sonny Gray, 4.5 star alert score. The Giants haven't been all that great versus righties, and he is averaging 20% more fantasy points while away. His numbers been solid. 3.32 FIP over his last 20, almost 27% K rate over the last 5. They've been a little bit worse with a 3.9 FIP and a 25% K rate, but he has been very solid all season long. His StatCast data is okay. A little bit too many fly balls here and a decent amount of barrel balls, but I'm fine with all of that, especially in a spot where the splits are in his favor. Over the last 20 games, Giants are hitting 208 versus righties with 20 home runs allowed, which is a big number. So they're hitting home runs. They got a high ISO 185, but a low WOBA, high K rate. I'm interested in this spot over, time. The BVP data definitely favors Sonny Gray. He gives up hard contact, 246 ISO, but 25% K rate, 230 average. if he allows a home run, if it comes with nobody on base, Sonny Gray looks to be in a very interesting spot. Next, we got Max Scherzer, 25% owned. If he is really coming in this high owned, I would love some Boston stacks. Scherzer is not the guy he used to be. 4.94 FIP over his last 20, 6.84 over the last 5. Stat pass data is awful. Ton of fly balls, ton of hard contact. And then the splits heavily favor Boston here. All in all, I like the spot for Boston, not so much for Scherzer. Now, we know at 7,500, he can pay it off. He can have a vintage performance, but he just hasn't been in great form, and Boston's a good offense, so I don't love going there. Next, we got Luis Castillo, 7,700. Castillo, way better at home, and he's in a great spot versus the Rockies. We got the rare 5-star alert score situation for him. Great park. Colorado strikes out a ton. They have a low average versus him in the past, and ISO 160. They can hit the ball hard, but all in all, not all that great. 24.6% more fantasy points while home. Then you look at his data, 3.57 FIP and a 23.8% K rate over the last 5. Over the last 20, 4.3 and 22%. All fine. He allows a lot of fly balls, but in this park, not really too worried about that, as it's not a ton of hard contact. Splits way in the favor of Castillo. 25.7% K rate over the last 20, 233 average over the last 150, all similar numbers. I love this spot for Castillo, and he's going to probably be one of my higher owned pitchers on the day. Jacob deGrom at 9K, 20% owned. 3.76 FIP over his last 20, but he's struggled a little bit lately. K rate's up there, though. The ceiling warrants playing him. His StatCast data has been poor, though. All in all, I'm fine with getting some deGrom, but I'm not going to go super hard on him. Let's get into Max Fried, 20% owned. Don't want to quite say a pivot yet because he's still 20% owned, but 3.44 FIP over the last 20 and 2.43 over the last 5. He has been dealing, and he's in a good matchup versus the White Sox. So like the spot, definitely going to get a decent amount of Fried. He shut down Baltimore last time out. And at home again, I do enjoy some Fried. Next, Garrett Crochet, 18% owned, 10.7K. He's been struggling a little bit lately. 4.83 FIP over his last 5, but his K rate is still way up. The StatCast data is fine. His numbers over the last 20 have been great. I'm absolutely fine going back to Crochet here. His price is way down to 10.7K. 10.7. This is a guy that used to be 12K. It's not the easiest matchup in the world. Toronto doesn't strike out a ton, but they're still striking out at a 25% clip versus Crochet. I'm here for it. I think he's in a very interesting spot. Then we got Blake Snell, 10.2K versus Diamondbacks. My man has been dealing. 2.24 FIP over his last 20, 2.02 over the last 5. 34% K rate. StatCast data is unreal. The only issue, Arizona hits lefties very well. Over the last 20 games, 308 average, 186 ISO, and 382 WOBA, and not striking out much. I like Snell. The ceiling is ginormous, and I'm going to get some. He probably shouldn't be going as low owned as he is for the ceiling, but it is a tough spot, so it can go either way. All right. Now we got some gross ones we got to talk about. Yusei Kikuchi at 6.5K is too cheap. He has not been good lately. And versus KC, lefties versus KC has not been very promising. Only a 125 ISO, 280 WOBA. KC strikes out at 19%, which is a pretty low number. And Kikuchi's better at home by 28% fantasy points. He has also been very good versus KC. All in all, I think this is an interesting matchup. It can go very well for Kikuchi, or he can get blown up again. He hasn't been in good form over the short term. 5.83 FIP, 14% K rate. He's not Something's been wrong with him. Can that all get, corrected for this start? Absolutely. We do know he has a huge ceiling and his price is way low. I don't mind playing both sides of this matchup a little bit, having some Kikuchi in some lines, having some Royal stacks. I think it's an interesting spot. He's allowing a lot of hard contact, a lot of barrel balls, but that ceiling is ridiculous for him. So I'm intrigued. If you look at what he did versus KC last year, he had a 7-inning 12K performance, then a 6-inning 2-earned run 4K. The upside is there. It can go either way. I kind of prefer the KC side, but Kikuchi could definitely get it going. Jonah Tong, he's starting to figure it out at the major league level. 4.3 FIP, 4.3 28% K rate, StatCast data, ton of fly balls. Outside of that, it's good. Wind's blowing in hard at Wrigley, so it should keep the ball in the park a little bit. There's big ceiling in this matchup, but Cubs offense isn't easy to pitch to either. So I'm fine with going to some Tong. 6,700 is too cheap, and there's a big ceiling. I think he's definitely interesting in this matchup. Getting over on to FanDuel high owned. We got Castillo, then DeGrom, and Fried. Do not sleep on Crochet. Do not sleep on a 6,500 Jonah Tong. That is too cheap. Bradley at 6,500 is also a little interesting. He's been bad since he's been with Minnesota, but we do know there's a ceiling there. And also, you can't forget about Snell. Can't forget about Kikuchi. All are a bit interesting. Let's get over to stacks before we can round this out. And a reminder, we do have the prop show in 30 minutes. It is scheduled at 11 a.m. So when this one's over, I will just finish preparing that and be ready to go at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, Houston is coming in at the highest stack, 65% owned, going against Sevy. Sevy hasn't been all that great. Probably the best hitting weather on the slate. I'm fine getting to Houston. Don't absolutely love it, but definitely going to be one of my higher owned stacks. KC's popping up. Definitely like them as well. And Dodgers versus Ryan Nelson is popping up a bit. Now, Ryan Nelson actually has pretty good numbers against the Dodgers outside of a couple guys. We know he can be good, but he's still the guy that has a 4.01 FIP over the last 5. 3.9, however, or sorry, 3 over the last 20 and 3.19 ERA. All in all, I'm fine going here, and I'm going to have some, but he has done pretty well versus the Dodgers. So I am also slightly apprehensive with too many Dodger stacks going at high owned. Next, we got Seattle as a highest projected versus Tanner Gordon. Tanner Gordon's bad. The bullpen's bad. I think wheels up for Seattle. They have some hitters, though, that have been a little cold lately. Yankees popping up versus Ellard for the White Sox. After Ellard's a poor bullpen, splits are in the Yankees' favor. I think they are interesting for sure. High value stack action. We got St. Louis versus JT Brubaker. Don't mind a little bit of them. Also, don't mind some A's going super low owned with a huge ceiling against Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown, 4.35 FIP over his last 5. He has definitely not been as good as of late as he was earlier in the season, where it was like you couldn't go against him. Boston popping up for Scherzer. I'm all for it. I like it. High ceiling plays. We got Seattle. Mets popping up versus Matt Boyd. Matt Boyd has been way better at home. He's fallen off a bit lately. Wins coming in. Don't totally love the spot for the Mets, but I'm fine getting some. And high leverage action. We got Toronto versus Crochet. And Cubs, White Sox all popping up a little bit. Now let's click the teams tab. Highest implied team total on the day. We got the Yankees at 5 versus Ellard. Probably one of my favorite stacks of the day. I'm going to have plenty of them. Houston, also going to have plenty of them. Dodgers at 4.6. Seattle at 4.6. I think maybe going a little under owned for the ceiling potential there. Then if we come down, I think the Angels are a little interesting. Texas, Bradley has straight up been bad. 5.14 FIP over his last 5. Probably going a little overlooked there. And then KC, we got huge variance in this game. Kikuchi can come out and absolutely dominate or get blown up. He is, one or the other. He very rarely, walks that thin line of, say, giving up 3 earned runs and going 6-7 innings, not really letting the bullpen get after him. Arizona versus Blake Snell. I always say that I don't mind stacking against Blake Snell a little bit. He can be a little wild, and when he is, he lets so many guys on base. I don't mind a little Arizona, not going to go overboard. I'll have a ton of Boston probably versus Scherzer. St. Louis is fine. If we come down here, I don't love stacking against any of these guys, maybe except for a little Colorado, a little Mets, as kind of leverage stacks. Castillo going to be super high owned, and it's not like he's the best pitcher in the game. Guys can get after him. So that will do it for us today, guys. We'll be back with the prop show in 30 minutes. Thank you for joining me. And as always, come join us at LineStar, $39.99 per month, or you can do the free trial option. Appreciate you all. Let's get after it. Let's make some money. MLB season is coming to an end quickly. See you all later. Peace.